I'll be reading a couple short stories concerning the afterlife or whatever simulation. The first one is called Motorcycles. Not motorcycles, but motorcycles. The danger, or rather thrill, doesn't end after death. It only becomes safer, like an extreme roller coaster or bungee dive. But you need a transport you can trust for the trafficking of souls in heaven's bustling intersection. Trafficking has a negative connotation. Nothing is bad in these higher realms, since things take their healthiest forms. Futuristic spacecraft, supertrains, and mechamobiles transport souls to their anime-like homes in the multiverse, according to the perception or understanding of those experiencing the simulation. But Nancy is the most hardcore motorist, roaring her way through the crisscrossing incoming. Incoming has a 9 for a typo, so I often have typos which have numbers which I think could be whatever angel numbers or numerology. Meteor storm of let me read it. Roaring her way through the crisscrossing incoming 9 meteor storm of speed demons at such impossible speeds you'd think she was warping the hyper-accelerating universe with her souped-up chessboard cab. She zooms across the solar ring highways, singing "Go, Speed Racer, Go," her favorite cartoon. "I'm having less cosmic shifts," said Nancy Rodriguez to herself and to an unseen observer who whispers in our ears. "Must be close to meeting all my karmic depths. She's the top cabbie in the galactic intersection, and she holds the record for transporting souls to their paradises. Paradoxically, she became the most hardcore motorist in this cosmic roller derby and Grand Prix magnified by refusing to take spirits to purgatory. This helped the cosmos revolve freer and evolve like her steering wheel. My depths are almost up," she said again. "Just when I thought I was free to be ninja with my starseed, I'd find myself in the cross realm. Every soul I safely transport makes me value life more. A million lost lives may equate to $1 billion enterprises gained, may equate to $1 billion enterprises gained to the billions that those enterprises gain, but tycoons delay a life-sustaining currency that should always be. Their temporary gains create more seismic cracks for many to slip through. Me and the gods learned this the hard way. We exterminated worlds as we saw unfit, but we couldn't replace the natural with the unnatural, like virtual cities and beings. You cannot calculate the forces of time and space, which shifts and corrects the stuff we damage. The danger doesn't end when one dies, but it becomes more thrilling if souls put their trust in heaven's rapid transports. It's like riding the steepest roller coaster, or taking a bungee dive to earth hell one final time, and up to heaven finally. Many passengers bypassed that punk rocker gal Nancy because her car wasn't some brand design, the cosmic equivalent of a Lamborghini or more, but her black casket-like lowrider was comprised of the best of discarded vehicles. Best of the best includes things which were once low quality. The alloys had an alchemy-like sensitivity to forces which warped, enhancing her design. So, shapeshifting, time travel. The transition from life to the beyond is experienced in one final chemical reaction emitted upon death, like the smoke of a flame when it's extinguished, and so on. Pay attention to ghostly smoke, and you may see symbols and timelines. Perhaps that chemical reaction is an eternity unto itself, not infinity. one's own space revealed. There's a difference between eternity and infinity, since eternity is more personal. I meant. However, she scouted good souls and didn't wait around. She knew souls in transition had both the pure angelic sense we're born with and cynicism we die with, or rather die from. Souls were anxious to board any spacecraft, ethermobile, especially if the drivers offered rides to the promised land. But many of these fallen angels wanted false credit for false promises, no matter if the lands their passengers were taken to were detours from where they could thrive for better or worse. Nancy spotted some souls that experienced too much misery. Nancy spotted some souls that experienced too much misery for their first incarnation. Some people born into a famine-ravaged country not identified in the maps of their fascist world. Her oracle-like glasses revealed they were divine messengers thrown into a war-torn environment with little resources, no support because their countrymen, once the purest of Earth's tribes, with the potential to be its leaders, were too corrupted by crime, fear, and other soul sabotages by intelligence agencies. Even God's chosen never stood a chance in such inhumanity. She knew all their tricks because she used to be the very agent who mentored culture saboteurs from the future. Page 2. I'll take them where they should never have left because the world doesn't want to help itself, not unlike an addict or maniac in denial. The souls flickered like candle flames that couldn't be blown out before the countless wheels which blurred as one. They felt like they were in a reverse suction black hole, being pulled out of event horizon. Though their vertigo and sensory overload made them doubt their safety. Hop in, yelled Nancy. I'll take you to where you don't know where you want to go. There was no doubting her anti-con man charisma, especially since she was a woman. Okay, fellows, sit back and see hell warp away. Ha ha. Satan and what man, we won't miss ya, 'cause we never knew ya. And you'll never know yourselves, though you need everyone to believe that you know it all. The true ones know what you think they know, and you know because they had no choice but to explore themselves. Repeat, the true ones know what you think they know, and you know they know what, and they also know what you know because they had no choice but to explore themselves. She screamed womaniacally as they sped through wormhole highway tunnels and circled around time portal intervals. Wow, a lifetime of police brutality, civil wars, and poverty is eradicated by a few rides around the galaxy, the spirits thought, or rather sensed with something else. Cosmic particles, dust, radiation, nebulas, solar flares, and other has a typo with zero, residue is everyone's past and future biology. We now understand why it was indecipherable to our earthly technologies and sciences. It's our cosmic transplants waiting for us when we're ready. There's still road rage, insults, and beeping in these realms of chaos. But Nancy welcomed the openings these big mouths offered. She loved seeing hot rodders lose their cool. Ha, I'm still out driving you with this piece of crap. And you can't do nothing with your superhero mecha. Imagine if I drove that. Shame on you. The slick-haired prop of a star idol, not specimen, scowled to no avail as she sped away laughing. She drove to the heart of all chaos, bypassing the points where cars collide and explode. Some did, but she never let go of the steering wheel, spun by all orbits. Her wheels adapted to each terrain. Her passengers witnessed how combustible forces worked beyond physics. Things warped, revealing steering wheels within planets, solar rings. Imagine your life constantly flashing before your eyes in such a way that you saw others' lives, nothing going to waste. You understand what everything was leading to. Her passengers indirectly healed everyone because even neon blurs reveal themselves in spaces beyond judgment and ego. So the devil lived, so go, 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 God, if you do. She brought them to paradise, yet she didn't appear to speed off. But she, but yet she didn't appear to speed off, but shrink the cyclic cosmos in the forms that all portals, black holes, and big bangs converge. Yet she didn't appear to speed off, but shrink the cyclic cosmos in forms that all portals, black holes, and big bangs just converged. Meeting points where ends were guaranteed to lead to new beginnings, to the point of infinity. Time was becoming nonlinear, heaven, heavens filling space. They saw this from this point of view, that she didn't zoom through, but made everything conform to her pace. The end. Right on 11:33. I'll be reading A Hypnosis of Weapon Eyes, as in weaponizing. So weaponize. It's about a ninja. How she uses her her lost eyes, her artificial eyes as kind of weapons with spikes. So here we go. Ninja doesn't care about peace, but she despises bullies. She hates when either gods or devils, superheroes and villains, subjugate the weak. Anyone who discourages social coordination is a fascist in her newly created eyes. But she still wants to be the ultimate badass, a fascist by default, which means she can't have competitors. I want to be the only one to fear. But how do you do this without conquering people? She prayed to her glimmering sun god, Starseed, the honeyman. She knelt down before this exceptional mortal, praying, the higher power praying to her stabilizing power. She looked up to this toy-like golden brown action figure she looked up to him more than even the super beings, her fellow super beings. It said, "Non-violence is the highest power. You already have it. But I'm a warrior goddess. I need to fight sometimes, even if there's peace. Bad girls just want to have fun and adventure. It's nice to be nice, but that's not enough. Well, I believe there's a place for the macabre and extreme, even in a utopian cosmos. We need to choose carefully when designing a new simulation for you. There's a way to reconcile some of history's trauma without adding more baggage. There's a job opening in the darkest hell. Someone needs to oversee the concentration camp to condemn fascists, those who create concentration camps. So, who's badass enough to torture and punish those who torture and punish the worst ways? I channeled that even the most healed souls haven't forgiven those who tortured, raped, and executed them and family in the most horrific ways. Even though they're in heaven and healed, there's a part of them that still is bitter. There's an unspoken desire for retribution, not revenge or vindictiveness. An eternal moment of damnation rather than eternal damnation. There's a difference. One sweet second of revenge. What's a swift but brutal death in the timeless void? You mean I get to punish the most powerful, violent beings? Yes, that's a sure way to satisfy your need to be the most extreme champion without selling your soul and warping the paradigm. Sounds fun and interesting, she said in a voice so low, cool, and soothing that that it could extinguish any inferno. I only want the meanest, biggest nasties, as in Nazi. I don't want to fight anyone I feel sorry for. You won't be disappointed. You'll have 80% of your divine powers, which is more than sufficient in that lower realm. There's still a catch? You'll return with the very injuries that set you on your initial path of destruction and redemption. You mean I'll be blind again? You'll be legally blind, but I shall give you special glasses, weapon eyes, representing the fourth eye of the gods. He pulled out a pair of bladed eyeglasses containing artificial eyeballs. Her eye sockets became hollow, and he placed them on her. She now saw the red Mars-like wasteland of all fallen empires projected within the dark matter of space. The post-material universe was mostly fleshed out in the form of inverted global dimensions, like open windows and entrances to worlds, variations of yin-yang connections. But there were still dark spots to be filled. A mere doubt or question can fold another layer of freedom, exploration, or regression, which can translate into some chaotic evolutionary complication, topology and all that. In this version of Mars, it was a planet of warriors who ruined their own civilization with constant warfare. Some have survived and are competing to rule what's left of it. They need to go extinct in order to be resurrected as healthier beings. But this was still a symbolic reality or virtual movie adaptation of all earthly wars or eternal war. Eternal war as opposed to world wars. Ninja can be the judge on its final judgment day. The first and only coming. You can use these special glasses as weapons. Your vital spots, the eyes, can be ultimate weapons that whip, extend for miles, grappling, slashing, crushing with the blades and other appendages attached to the tentacle-like optic nerves. You mean no one can hurt me at all? You can still get cut and bleed, but you can morph your wounds into weapons too because of your deep goddess DNA. So blood spurts become crimson swords which cut back. That's cool. Can't wait for this adventure. I love killing murderers and torturing sadists. The meaner and more ruthless they are, send them to me. I'm more psycho than anyone. Well, you'll be in good company. Many of history's true criminals have gone unpunished, and they'll be forced to pay. And they'll be bringing the most terrible weapons. So in this hell, they get to defend themselves. That's why they can't be punished. They partially created it. She smirked. You know I make nukes cry and napalm bleed. You know I make nukes cry and napalm bleed. I make Agent Orange Crimson Red. The end.